We were talking about your first job in the summer of 40, or the winter of 49, which was a rough winter.
Well, it was in November of 49 when I got discharged and went out there to the Casper Oil Company. And that winter of 49 is the worst that this state ever saw.
They had to air flight food into people. They could not keep the roads clear.
We were 6 weeks out there when you couldn't get to town. The roads were all blocked. And then the Pure Oil, they had some wells on out past us. They sent a TD-18 cab out there to plow the road open so we could go to town and get groceries. And they called us and told us when they were coming by our camp.
So that you could follow behind the tractor.
And we got groceries. We stayed one night, and then the next morning after we went back out and followed the tractor back out because the roads were all blocked again.
And you were working on the oil rigs.
Yeah. We had 13 wells out there. And before the winter 49 ended, all 13 of them had froze off. And that's really rare.
Wow.
Because the oil comes out of the ground hot.
Yeah.
But you had, the pumps would bring it to the boiler room, and it was probably half a mile or so when they started freezing off. The furthest ones out froze first.
Wow. Yeah.
But when it ended, we didn't have a well running.
Really? And Grandma Marie was in Casper?
No, she was there.
No, she was there.
Oh, you lived out there?
Yeah.
Wow. That's rough.
In a very poorly insulated place, right?
Right.
In a little shack.
There was antelope came up on our porch and died.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Of starvation or freezing?
Well, both.
Both. Wow. So did you stay in that job after that winter?
Hmm?
Did you stay in that job after that winter?
Yeah, well, I stayed until later that, I stayed a year after that, and then in the spring, Goodstein owned Tri-Good Oil, and they advertised for experienced pumpers. And so I went in and interviewed with them, and it was the wage that they were paying was 3 times what I was making. So I moved and went to Midwest.
Okay.
And worked out there, but I was only out there about 4 months. They sent me, I was hired as a pumper, and they said that I had to have, they put me in pumping, but they said there was a 6 months probationary period where I didn't get the full amount of money that they told me.
Oh.
And I said, I'm not pumping for that money. And so they put me in the bull gang for the same wage that I was making. And they had some wells out north of Powder River. It was about 5 miles north of Powder River. And they had 3 guys working it. And they got enough booze that they got in a big knife fight.
Oh no.
And they ended up in the jail. So they came to Midwest and asked me if I would go out and run those wells for them until they could hire somebody to take it over. I ran those wells by myself.
Really?
3 of them were there, you know, before. And so I told, they kept asking me if I would stay out there. And I said, no, my son is going to go to school next year. And it was too far to go to school. And they said, well, we'll buy you a Jeep and you could take him. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I know these winters.
No kidding.